Hello, 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 hello. Good morning. I have been up for a very long time, so um, I'm actually not super sleepy today. Why is my head kind of cut off? No, that's worse. Huh. Oh, that's kind of like. All right, I don't know. That's gonna. I guess it's not too bad. Anyway, yeah, I've been up because our farm. Oh, good morning, good morning. Our farm is going to go up for sale likely Thursday or Friday, and oh my goodness, that just puts a cramp on timing. So today I do have a storage unit that I'm going to sign a lease for. Then I have to get my stuff, like my cars, transferred or transported from the farm to the storage unit, and I have to get all of my hosted services moved. And I kind of shot myself in the foot today because I have Oracle Cloud, like the free tier stuff. And the thing about Oracle Cloud is they have an incredibly generous free tier offering. And I've had their free tier servers for like a couple of years and I just haven't thought about it. But I thought, well, if I'm going to transfer some of like my, I plan on hosting my web sites there. And I thought if I'm going to do that, I should have the most recent version of an operating system. Because right now, I think, well, not anymore, but as of the earlier today, I think I had Ubuntu either 2004 or maybe it was 2204. Maybe I've only had it for like a couple, like 2 years. But anyway, there's no way to reformat an existing instance on Oracle Cloud. So I'm like, okay, I'll terminate the instance and I'll create a new one with a new image. Well, it turns out that if you're on the free tier usage, they have like no resources available. So it's like out of capacity, try again later. And some quick Googling shows that like it's never available. In fact, people have written scripts to try every minute to create an instance in order to like after weeks eventually get an instance created. So I'm like, well, crud, that is just really frustrating. So I did a little bit more reading, and it looks like if you upgrade from the free service to pay as you go, you get like you get like more priority with the compute resources, and you can still get the free tier stuff for free. But if you are a pay as you go customer, you get like higher priority. So we'll see. It also takes a couple days to convert your account to pay as you go from free. So I think that's weird. But anyway, good morning, Mary. Good morning to both of you. Yeah, so it's a stressful week. The farm is having interior pictures taken today, and then it will probably go up we signed contracts last night. And it looks like probably Thursday or Friday it'll officially go up for sale. And I don't feel ready for that. But I mean, it is what it is. There's still junk that we'll need to get out of there. But I have to remind myself that, like, when we looked at houses, sometimes, there's still stuff in the houses when you look at them. And so I have occupancy as negotiable. So, if it immediately sells, I could say, all right, well, we need a week to get the rest of the stuff out. And then, they can have the place in a week. So it'll be fine. It's just stressful. Oh, Mary, so since I'm moving stuff out of the farm, I have to rehost stuff. And I'm planning on having my server rack go to my eldest daughter's house. Because they have the same fiber connectivity that the farm has, and I'll just pay them for their internet service and I'll host it in their garage. But that's a process, and like there have to be more fiber optic cable run to get it into their garage, and then I have to like move all the servers and restart them and reconfigure them. Anyway, so I want to move some of my things to cloud services, like hosted somewhere right away. And I have these a server that is free, hosted in Oracle Cloud, and I was trying to get it like fresh and updated, but it turns out if you try to restart, like there's no way to upgrade the cloud services. You can delete it and then create a newer one that's, recent and updated. So I did that, but then when I tried to recreate it, it's like, sorry, we're out of capacity. And apparently if you're a free user, the capacity numbers are very low. So it's really difficult to ever create an instance. The only reason I still had one is because I created it years ago before they got popular. But I did read that if you upgrade your account from free to pay as you go, you can still use the free services. So I won't have to pay, but you get a higher priority for those resources. So I'll even get the free stuff at a higher priority level, but it takes a couple days for the for your account to get upgraded to pay as you go. So right now I'm like, well, I had a fully working server. It was just, a little older than I wanted, and I deleted it not knowing I wouldn't be able to simply recreate one. So it's a little bit frustrating, but anyway, it'll be fine. And then I do have a storage unit which is fairly close to the farm, which is nice. It's in Alanson, and we'll just have to pay for a storage unit for a while until I can get my Volkswagens running and then sell them. I'll probably keep one and sell 2 of them. But anyway, yeah, it's just so I woke up at 4:30 this morning. I'm like, well, now I'm thinking about all the things. I'm not going to go back to sleep. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it'll be fine. But it's it's a lot. It's going very fast, which is good. It's good if it goes fast, and I just hope that it sells right away, because I know I talked before on the on the morning live streams that apparently recently, at least, when houses go up for sale, they either sell immediately or they don't sell for a very, very long time. And I'm hoping for the I'm hoping for the former, not the latter, because I don't want to just have the farm sitting there not sold, and we're still paying for utilities and all that stuff. I mean, I could winterize it, and I probably will. If it doesn't sell right away, we'll winterize it so that we're not using any of that precious propane. But also, you kind of want it to be not horribly cold when people are looking at it. So I don't even know. I don't know what we're going to do. Hopefully it'll just sell and it's a moot point. But if it does sell, then we don't have all the stuff out of the basement of the barn has junk in it that we just have to mostly load up and take to the dump. And sound equipment from inside the barn, depending on, who buys it, they might want that, but I don't even know how all that works. It's confusing. It's very confusing. So anyway, it'll be fine. These are definitely first world problems to have. Oh no, selling my second home is going too fast. But anyway, hope everybody is doing well today. I appreciate that, and might take you up on. I don't know when. That's the thing. So the big thing that we need is probably going to be, yes, some hands, but also I'm hoping that my son-in-law will let us borrow his dump trailer. He has a trailer that you can load up and then take the dump, and literally it's like a dump truck, but a trailer. Because mostly what's in the basement of the barn is just stuff that has to be loaded up and junked. It's stuff that was in our storage shed from, gosh, when was it even from? I don't even know. Forever ago. We obviously don't need it anymore at this point. And yeah, so we need that, and then I need to get my truck back because I have a trailer that can haul the cars, which is great, but my truck is still being fixed. I had a broken brake line And as soon as that comes, as soon as I get that back, I should be able to start moving the cars into that storage shed. But I mean, Thursday is tomorrow, so it might go up for sale tomorrow. And again, I just have to remind myself, it's okay if stuff is there when people are looking at it. Yeah. That is cool about online schooling. That can be available most of the time. Yeah, I appreciate that. Neil and Lydia, sorry, I didn't mean to call them out by name, but I've said their name before. They left the farm in really, really nice shape. The farmhouse is great. Like they moved their stuff out. It's clean. It's there's no junk left. It's presentable. Like they're taking the photos today, and there's just enough furniture out there that it's like staged. There's like beds in the bedrooms, and there's 2 couches in the living room. There's a kitchen table and stuff. So I think it looks good. Oh, that's cool. That's good to know. And also, I mean, both of my sons-in-law have trucks as well. I'm really bad at asking for help. So I just want my truck so that I can hook up to my trailer and get it to my storage shed. And I loaded 2 Volkswagens onto that trailer all by my onesies when I moved them out of the storage shed to the farm. So I'm really bad about asking for help, but that's okay. That's okay. It'll I will ask for help this time, and it should go well. So I have 3 Volkswagens, and I have the one little tiny electric city car. And they should all fit in the storage shed. Like I know how big the vehicles are, and the storage shed is 20 by 30, so it should fit the vehicles and nothing else, basically. So it's not like we can store junk in there, which is a good thing. We don't need extra storage space for junk. We need to throw junk away. Asking some, yeah. I mean, I know. Also, sons-in-law would be really happy to help, assuming they have the time as well. That's the thing with them. They're very busy. And I get that. So, but my truck is fixed. I got a message from the repair guy yesterday. It is, the brake line is replaced. He just has to bleed out the brake system. He didn't have a ton of time. It's, the mechanic who works on our vehicles, Neil knows him from work. And he works on things after hours at his house. He has a little garage at his house, and he's extremely good at what he does. And he's very reasonably priced, but he's also really busy, and like there's health issues in his family. So he's been struggling to find time. But I'd hope that bleeding out the brakes doesn't take too long, assuming nothing goes wrong. The nice thing is, though, if something goes wrong, like when he's bleeding the brakes, like one of the bleeders breaks off, or all the things that can go wrong when you're bleeding brakes, he has the know-how and the tools to repair anything that might break during that process. So anyway, it should go well. And again, it doesn't have to be like if we didn't do anything before the house was starting to get shown this weekend, it would be fine. But I just want to make sure that we're, trying to, as quickly as possible, get everything out of there. The servers, I don't know. I don't know about the servers. That's going to be something. The big thing with the servers, the only thing that is that I can't just like temporarily put in a cloud service is I have a bunch of media that I share with friends and family, and that's the like Plex. Like I give some Plex accounts to friends and family, and that isn't something I can host in the cloud. That has to be hosted locally because there's so much data. It's just I couldn't possibly even copy it to the internet, much less afford to have it stored on somebody else's devices. So I have to have that. And the internet service at my house here in town is just regular Spectrum cable modem, and it doesn't have the capacity to serve that out. The upload speed is very small, but I still might temporarily have to do that. It might have to come to our house temporarily. It wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be fine. He wants to learn how I do that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's I've done it a number of ways over the years, and every aspect of how I get media and stuff is complicated and stuff, but it's yeah, it's pretty nerdy. How much bandwidth would I need? Well, so it's twofold really. I think so. Right now, I have full gigabit commercial grade fiber upload, and I don't come anywhere close to using that much bandwidth. I probably use only about. Oh, I can look at the charts. Let's see. It looks like farm. Yeah, it looks like in the middle of the night. Of course, I think that might be backups going on in the middle of the night. I peak at about 200 megabits upload speed. And I generally, throughout the day, it tops out at about 30 or 40 with little spikes to 100 megabit upload during the day. But at home here, if I were to temporarily host stuff here at the house, I have like a theoretical maximum upload speed of 30 megabits. So it would probably kind of work, but I think that overnight backup might be coming to the house here. Yeah, it does. So the 200 megabit part, yeah, that's a moot point. That is just I back up stuff from the farm to the house here locally, so I have a remote backup. Because I have a much bigger download speed at the house. So at the house, I can download backups from the farm at 200 megabit, but I can't upload from the house fast enough to like serve out stuff. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Bjorn is a fellow nerd. So Eichen Artig is a fellow nerd. The disk space requirement. Oh yeah, that's the other issue. One, I mean, I think I have 75 terabytes of media. And not only couldn't I host 75 terabytes of media and afford the cost anywhere, getting 75 terabytes of data somewhere takes weeks and weeks. In fact, for a long time, I was trying to host all of my data on when Google Drive was truly unlimited. There was a time when it was truly unlimited, and I had like 60 terabytes in Google Cloud using rClone. The problem is it took so long to get all of that information into Google Drive. It took like a month of steady upload because there is a daily limit that they had, like that you could upload. So it wasn't just bandwidth. It was also like daily limitations, but it was like you could only upload, I think, 750 gigabytes a day. And so I just timed I just scaled the upload speed so that I got to like almost to that much in a 24-hour period. And then I just uploaded straight for like 2 months. So anyway, yeah, moving that much data is tough. So it's all stored in hard drives at my farm. So to transfer it, I'll literally, I have multiple NASs and I'll just put them in my car and drive them wherever they need to go. So, I mean, I can move them around here. But yeah, I don't know. I just have to figure that out. Oh, I mean, that's an impressive amount of space. And I mean, sadly, I would have to literally mail the Synology NAS to you. and it would take a long time to get there too. Yeah, I do appreciate that though. What I'll probably eventually do is get that stuff set up at my eldest daughter's house. You know, she has the same fiber provider, so I know that it'll work. But it's just getting it all set up. And yeah, I have my rack. That's the thing. I mean, not only is it storage, but I also have a 3-server cluster, Proxmox cluster on my rack, and that's where I host the services. You know, it's not just the storage. The storage is on a separate NAS, and then I have 3 rack mount servers in a 4-post server rack at the farm. So I'm going to have to move that. The big thing is I have already migrated. I've already migrated my email to an online service. I'm no longer hosting my own email. I liked hosting my own email, but I didn't want there to be any downtime with email delivery. So right now I'm using Mailgun for outgoing email, and then I have I use Cloudflare as my DNS provider, and they have a free service where you can forward incoming emails directly to another account. So I email it, or I forward all my domain's email account or incoming email to my Gmail account, and then Gmail can sort them all when they come in. And then for outgoing, I just have every domain has a configuration on Mailgun, and I have like up to 1,000 emails I can send a month for free, and I don't approach that number, so that's fine. So I'm not worried about email. But the one thing I do want to do is migrate all of my web servers. You know, like not just like my main blog and stuff, but like I have like Trillium Notes it's a web-based note-taking app that syncs on a server. So I basically just need to have a Docker server set up in the cloud with a front end, like a reverse proxy front end, so that I can have all of those web services hosted, even if it's just temporarily in the cloud. So, I'm back. So is it just a fiber internet versus DSL? Close. It's fiber internet versus cable modem. Here in town, I have cable modem. It's just a different technology, but it is. Yes, that's the thing. It's asynchronous, meaning that I can download, and the same DSL is usually this way as well, but with a cable modem, it's almost always asynchronous, meaning you can download things quickly, but you can upload things very slowly. I mean, it's all relative. So I have the top tier that Spectrum Internet provides here in town, and it's supposedly a gigabit of download, but it maxes out at 30 megabits upload. And so that's where, when you're serving things, you need that upload speed so other people can download from you. And that's why, I'm not able to really host stuff from my house. But with fiber, it's usually synchronous, meaning your upload speed and your download speed are the same. And so I have, at the farm, it's only a gigabit fiber. I can download at a gigabit speed, but I can also upload at a gigabit speed. And that's really what the kicker is. So you can't get fiber here in town, but anywhere outside of town, you can, like the farm, and also where my eldest lives, she can get it. Oddly, the daughter and son-in-law that just bought their new house, they're in one particular subdivision outside of the city limits, but that subdivision does not have fiber internet set up for some strange reason. They have the correct, they're using the right electric provider, because the reason fiber is available outside of town is the rural electric company added fiber to all their poles. And even though they have that rural electric company at their new house, they did not run fiber there. It's the only thing they can get is Spectrum cable modem, just like me. So anyway, I'll figure it out. These are more first world problems. What'll probably happen, I mean, if it's going to have to be pretty quickly, is I'll probably host stuff from our house here, and then as soon as possible, move it to my eldest daughter and her husband's garage. We just have to get the internet run to the garage. It's only run to their house right now. Yeah, Mary. And so, you know what's kind of interesting about where you live? So, Mary and I live in different towns. The same, we both live in northern Michigan, but she lives, oh, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour away. And we have a different electric companies. My farm has it's called Great Lakes Energy, but they were, I mean, they took a huge risk. I know they had federal funding to help them, but they decided to take all of their electrical poles and run fiber optic cables through all of their hundreds and hundreds of miles so that they could provide fiber optic internet service to the rural areas that they served. Nobody was sure how well it was going to work, and they had issues at first. Bjorn, so I mean, you might appreciate this. Most people don't even know what this means, but they tried to not use public IP addresses for individual users. They tried to use just carrier grade NAT, and the problem is all the customers didn't have a public IP address, and so they couldn't stream like Netflix and stuff because Netflix limits based on IP address, and everybody that was a customer was coming from the same IP address at their headquarters because they were using carrier grade NAT. So it's basically like everyone was in, a private LAN. And so people couldn't, it wasn't working. So they had to buy a huge chunk of IP addresses, and now all of their clients, get dynamically assigned IP addresses. But it's an interesting thing. Oh, but what's interesting is then it was a success. They got it to work. And then the town that Mary lives in, they said, you know what? We're a rural electric company as well. And over there on that side of the state, it worked. So they decided to do the same thing. So, so now Mary can get fiber optic internet through the electric company, which is just a great thing because where she lived, it was just absolutely terrible internet service. That's the issue about, rural America is so huge that there are still so many people who don't have access to broadband internet. And it doesn't seem like it's the modern world and it's the United States, but it's just so geographically huge and diverse and rural that last mile connectivity is a problem for so many places around the country. But thankfully, Northern Michigan is not like that anymore because the electric co-ops, the electric companies, decided to string fiber on all of their existing electrical poles. And now anybody with rural electric can get fiber optic cables. But I live in town Petoskey, and Petoskey has their own electric service. Inside just this tiny little town of Petoskey, they have their own electric company. And that means that there's no rural electric poles, so we can't get the fiber. They currently, as far as I know, I mean, they use public IP or public IP version 4 addresses. The company that I have at the farm. I don't know about Mary's. I've never looked at her setup, but they probably learned from the mistake of, our provider in that they had to have public IP addresses. I was a little bit surprised that they didn't try to, instead of, getting everybody IP version 4 addresses, try to use IP version 6, but maybe the streaming companies aren't quite ready for IP version 6 only streaming. I don't know. And I don't know. So I just know that now everybody gets a public IP address, which is a little bit shocking. It's still amazing that we haven't run out even for dynamically assigned ones. Yeah, I know. Yeah, like where Mary lives, it is so out in the middle of nowhere that people use cellular service for internet service, and it's not only is it slow and unreliable, it's very expensive and it's limited in how much data you can use. But it's just very expensive. That's really the big issue. Then for a while, I think maybe Mary, I think you could get DSL, but mom couldn't, or something, or maybe vice versa. No, I think that was it. I think you could get DSL. And yeah, you have fiber. So, and that's the funny thing too. So, it's a frustration of mine. A lot of companies, most ISPs, internet service providers, will try to upsell to like the faster service. They're like you probably have, I don't even know what you have, like maybe 100 megabit or something. And the ISPs will say, oh, if you really want to have better, connections and faster downloads, you're going to want our top tier service. The issue is, I mean, I literally have a server rack of servers and I serve lots and lots of people. And at the farm, when it's not my backup service, but when I'm just streaming to all our friends and stuff, it looks like I use like 35 or 40 megabits tops upload. I mean, that's like maximum. And that's way below even the minimum offering that they have. So almost no one needs the top tier services that the internet service providers can, want to sell you. And so you got the lower option, and I think that you have made the right choice there. You would notice absolutely zero difference if you went to their top option. There's no way that you are hitting the ceiling when it comes to speed. The only thing that you would notice is like if your kids are playing games and they need to download like a big update. When you download a very enormous file, that's like the one time that you would notice it's taking longer to download this huge update to like a game. But in the day-to-day usage, no difference at all. It's only when you download those huge files that you would see the difference. So if your kids are like, oh, we really need to update to the most recent version, the only thing that it's gonna make a difference for is like when they're downloading their huge game files. Updates, like I don't know if they have like Xbox or whatever, but a lot of times those updates are enormous files, and they'll go quicker, but the gameplay will be exactly the same. We had such poor. Oh, here in Germany, most providers use IP version 6 for the edge. Okay. Yes, that is true. So that's interesting, though, that IP version 6 works for you. And so, yeah, everybody at the just gets, obviously a public IP version 6 address, and that works for Netflix and stuff. That is interesting. And so, yeah, you would have to do like one of those IP version 6 to IP version 4 like tunnel things. And where do you even get can you, like, I've done it the other way. Like I've had an IP version 4 address, and then I've tunneled like using Hurricane Internet or whatever the provider is to get a live IP version 6 address when the internet service provider doesn't give IP version 6. But I don't know how to get an IP version 4 address, because the internet still runs on IP version 4 for the most part, sadly. So, if you're hosting stuff, that would be an issue. Oh, but you do have a dynamic dual stack. So you do have dynamic DNS version 4. Okay. I mean, that's cool. It took Anthony 2 to 3 days to download a huge game, but he can deal. Yeah. And, that is, like I said, that's the one situation that it would be a bummer. But actually playing the game, he's not going to notice any difference. If you were to get the more expensive tier, it would play exactly the same. So, yeah. All right, I'm curious, Mary. Are you on your phone or on a desktop? Because I'm curious what your speed is. If you go to speedtest.net, like I think it's speedtest.net. I'm just curious what the maybe it's not speedtest.net. I think it is though. Yeah. So I'm curious. I don't know if that works on a phone or not, but I'm curious what your internet speeds are. And just pure morbid curiosity, to be honest. Yeah, I think phone walking out the door. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be shutting the live stream down probably before. If you're driving to town, I'll be long gone before I get back. But yeah, have a great day, regardless. I don't know if I have IP version 6 here or not. I haven't even paid attention. And if the ISP provides it, I might just have it blocked at my router. I've had really bad luck with IP version 6. Even when I have it working, and routing and everything is, technically functioning, I've had it break the internet in many cases. Like, I'm not fully aware of how it's determined if you go to the IP version 6 or IP version 4 site when you go to a website. I truly don't. I think there's like something that the website can include that will like trigger going to that'll trigger going to the IP version 6 address. Anyway, when I had it all working, I could go to, I could test it by going specifically to an IP version 6 website. So I knew that it was working, but then the problem was half the time I try to go to a website and it would just hang, and it would just sit there and hang and hang and hang and not work. And it was because there was something messed up with IP version 6. As soon as I shut off IP version 6, as soon as I, shut it off, then everything worked fine. So I never did really figure out what in the world was going on. For some reason, I can't click on links here. I can only see them, but I will, let's see. No, I typed it wrong. Viewst oh, what is my IP? Viewst mein IP. If I would have just read it instead of trying to type letter by letter. Nicht vorhanden. Yep, no IP version 6. I think I block it though. I do. I think I block it at my router. And I think the same thing at the farm. Can I? Yeah, I should. I don't know which one it is. But yeah, I wanted it to work. Like I want IP version 6 to be successful for what it's worth. But the one time I really committed, like, and I truly set it up and I made sure it was right, and every device in my house got an IP version 6 address, via DHCP, it just made everything get wonky. I mean, it felt like DNS issues, even though DNS was working. So I just shut it off. It wasn't worth it. So sad but true. It just wasn't worth it. Oh, my camera seems to be glitching for me. But it's my local feed, not my internet. So I don't know what that's about. Oh, well. If it's glitchy, I apologize. Just say I'm in the matrix. dun, dun. Oh, yeah. So I'm really bummed about the Oracle thing where I can't even recreate that server now because that's where I was going to host all the websites. I guess just websites I could host here at the house. That's not going to be, too much of a problem. I could just host them all on here at the house and then eventually move them somewhere else. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably just start hosting stuff here. I still don't know. Plex might just be offline for a while. Best lunch break in Hetzer. I don't know what Hetzer is. Do you mean for cloud services or I have the issue is I don't want to pay more for an online service. I don't want to pay again because I pay $300 a month for fiber service. I don't want to pay for another server, even if it's temporary. But I guess I could spin up something temporarily. I have another cloud provider. I have a small instance on another cloud provider, and I could just get a bigger one. Honestly, or I could create a Google Cloud account and get $300 in credit and temporarily put stuff in Google Cloud while I'm waiting. I couldn't put the Plex stuff up there again. That's just, amount of data alone. I couldn't do that, but I could probably just host that from my house. That's probably what I'll end up doing is just hosting it from my house. Hi. Eichen Artig, this is my mom. Chris Amundsen is my mom, and Mary is my sister. They live near each other. Mom, we were talking about how it was funny Mary could get DSL at their house up on the road, and you, like a, tenth of a mile away, you couldn't get DSL. You had to use the, like Verizon or AT&T or whatever. You had to use cellular service. And okay, it's really funny that you called her Sean's mom because for a long time my mom would introduce herself as Sean's mom. I think that was really really funny choice of words. But anyway, Mom, you had to use cellular service for internet for a long time, and it was just the worst. Now you guys can both get fiber internet, which is just much better in every way. It's less expensive. It's more reliable. It's faster. It's synchronous, which means nothing to you, I know, but it's awesome. So Mary was just here. She's taking her son to school. So my mom subbed in. Mom, the thing is, our farm is. We signed the contract last night, so our farm will likely be on the market either tomorrow or Friday. And it's nerve-wracking because we have so much stuff to do. Like, I have Volkswagen Beetles there. I need to get them into storage. I'm signing a lease on a storage shed today, and then I have to, transport the stuff there. There's still, junk in the bottom downstairs of the barn that we need to literally just haul to the dump. And there's just so many things to do that I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 4:30 this morning thinking about it and couldn't go back to sleep. So, and this whole time we've been talking about how I'm gonna move stuff from servers and how I'm gonna host stuff, and because Amanda and Christian, my eldest, will be housing the server rack in their garage because they can get fiber internet, but the fiber is not run to the garage, and that'll take time. And Thursday is tomorrow, so yeah. Oh, hey, Mary's still here. Hi, Anthony. Someday I'll have to tell you the whole deal about how I host stuff and where I host it and how all of the hosting is done. It's absurdly complicated, but I think it's cool. So, And Neil, yes, it is bittersweet. So why it's bittersweet for Neil is that's where Neil is my one of my two son-in-laws, and him and my daughter lived at the farm for like a couple of years, year and a half, something like that. I don't know, they lived there, and so they bought a new house and they moved out of the farm. But now that we're selling the farm, it's a little bittersweet for them because I mean that's where they started their life together. So yeah. So yeah, it's it's the end of an era. But I mean, my goodness, the farm and the ministry that we did at the farm did a lot of good for a lot of people. So it's not, it's more sweet than bitter, I guess. If it doesn't sell, it'll be more bitter than sweet. Because like I started the stream talking about our realtor, she's a friend of ours, but she was saying that houses either sell almost immediately or they just sit and don't sell for months and months and months. And so you kind of have like this little window when it first goes on the market that you hope somebody puts in offers. And a lot of times it's multiple people putting in competitive offers. But then sometimes for no obvious reason, nobody puts in an offer. And when people are looking at places, if it's been on the market for a while, they think, oh, there's something wrong with it. And then they're hesitant to buy it. So it's just a weird situation, to be quite honest. It's just it's just weird. So we just hope it sells quickly. That's the hope. So Neil, I don't know if you're still there, but are you loving living close to work? Because I mean, your commute to work went from like over half an hour to like what, 6 minutes? That's nice. Oh yeah. So anyway, it's going to be a hectic few weeks, hopefully ending in the sale of the farm, but it'll be fine. I'm just super bummed about Oracle, so I might have to. I don't know. I'll figure it out. You know what? I have a single rack mount server. I could bring that to the house and then temporarily host stuff here. It'd be a little slower, but then I wouldn't have to like disassemble and reassemble the cluster. Maybe I'll do that. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Not that anybody was asking. Need to leave at 7:55 to be on time. Yeah, times have changed, right? That's awesome. Mom, the farm is a cool place. I hope it will sell quickly. And like we staged it yesterday. Lydia and I went out there and like moved furniture and like made beds and tried to make it, look somewhat staged because the photographer is coming out this morning to take interior shots. He took some exterior shots when the trees were in peak color. So there's, really good outdoor shots with, gorgeous tree colors in the background and stuff. But there were no interior shots because Lydia and Neil were moving out of the house. I mean, you know what it's like when you move, there's boxes and stuff everywhere. So, obviously they're all moved now. And so Lydia and I went there yesterday and just, like vacuumed and, again, moved couches. So it looked kind of like a house, and he's going to take interior shots, and then they'll all get uploaded to the MLS, the multi-listing whatever website, and we already signed the contracts, so it's really happening. And yeah, there'll be a link, and then I will probably share the like Zillow link to the farm like crazy when it goes up, hoping that it drums up interest. So when I say, hey, everybody, please share this link about the farm that's up for sale, I'll hopefully people will share that. And I think there's going to be an open house too, which will be neat. Where it won't be this weekend, but I guess the following weekend, the realtor will do an open house where, you know, she's there and can answer questions and stuff. And it's funny, like we won't be a part of it. Like it's like the seller is never there, which is good. I mean, it could be awkward, but it's just weird that we just like have to let our baby go. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just need to think about the other stuff that I can control, like moving servers. I can control that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have that extra single rack mount server. I'm gonna pick that up and set it up here at the house in the basement and start moving web services to our house. It'll be fine. They'll work fine from our house. And I'll figure out Plex as well. Again, it'll be fine. It's going to be great. It's going to be so great. So great. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to all my internet and farm woes, everyone. Today I can't forget, I have a calendar appointment, but I need to set an alarm too, because I'm very forgetful. I have to go and sign the lease for the storage unit. I found a storage unit close to the farm, so moving the vehicles, I don't have to move them as far. And I expect my truck will be ready before too long as well. And Neil, that's not me pressuring the guy. I just, once I have my truck, I'll be able to hook up to the trailer and move vehicles. And yeah, and we'll have to talk to, I won't call out names, but we'll have to talk to the person who is buying the tractor. I have to get that to him. And in fact, maybe I'll move the cars and then load the tractor up on the trailer, and he can use the trailer to get it to his place. We'll figure out payment, at some point. But yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, everyone. I think I'll call it the quits then. I'm gonna go help Donna get ready for work. She has to be to work early today, and then I am watching my granddaughter, my eldest granddaughter, while her little sister, I think her little sister is going to get shots, which is sad, but nonetheless, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me talking nerdy about internet stuff. Tomorrow, I will be drawing a comic. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I'll draw it in the live stream, and I'll keep everybody posted about like farm stuff too. So yeah, have a great day. Thanks again, Bjorn. Thanks for tuning in and talking nerd with me, and thank you, the non-nerdy folks, for bearing with us while we talked nerdy stuff. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll see everybody either tomorrow or next time I see you online. Have a great